Hello, guys, and welcome to Locals Update, episode 4, I believe, at this point. So today I'm going to go over how Locals went last night and then show you the new deck that I have built and I'm planning to bring to next week's Locals, Orcust Bystial. So I'll get straight in. At Locals, I brought the Shark deck list that I showed off last week. I ended up winning my first game against Pure Blue Eyes. It was honestly really good. It was in control the entire time. I think I also won going second twice, so absolutely fantastic. Really, really good deck. Super fun playing. Super fun time playing it. Then I played against White Forest Azamina and I drew surprisingly. That game was absolutely crazy. I don't know how I ended up drawing it. It was just overall insane and it was fantastic. And then I lost against Goblin Biker and I lost against Exodia because I just couldn't draw engine pieces and I was sitting stuck just drawing hand traps and cards that didn't get me into my combo for like the entire time. So I ended up winning one, drawing one, and losing two. But honestly, it was very fun, and it's always good to go back to Sharks because it is my favorite deck. But now I will show you the another one of my favorite decks, and that is Orcust. So I will start with the Freos that I'm playing. So to begin, we have free Gearsu, the Orcus Machknight. So this card is amazing. Basically, you normal summon him. He sends a Orcus monster to grave, which is where you want all your Orcus because that's where they gain their effects. And he also gets you a token, which is also really really nice for going into your link summoning. So next for one cards in Orcust is Armageddon Knight. This guy is an honorary Orcust card because he does the same thing as Gearsay pretty much. He dumps a Dark from deck to grave. The only difference is he doesn't get a token, so your plays are a bit more limited. But the token doesn't come up much until the new support comes out. So he is still fantastic for the deck. Especially because there's cards to search him out easier than to search out Gearsay. But the final free of for the Orcust engine I'm playing is the Orcust Harpor. And I'm playing this at free purely because it's an interesting card. It's definitely the best of the Orcust cards and it extends your plays really well. It allows you to special summon an Orcus from deck, and that includes Gearsu. So it's really good, but it doesn't. It isn't a one card starter on its own. It does need another just body that has an effect on the field for it to go full Orcus combo. Though there is cards that just get it into the grave, such as Foolish Burial, which I have in later, that make this guy a one card starter from grave. So next I will move on to the engine pieces, the non-free of engine pieces that I'm playing in deck. So we have two of the Orcus Nightmare. So this guy he's also pretty good. When he's in grave, he can banish himself and send Orcust or World Legacy to grave. And that is very, very good in this deck because, as has been said, all of the Orcust cards and there's one more Legacy card that gets its effect when it's in the graveyard. So they all kind of want to banish themselves and go from graveyard to have some good effect to either summon or revive, or just do something helpful. So the final two cards I'm playing are the Orcust Symbol Skeleton and the World Legacy World Wand. So this is basically World Legacy World Wand Orcust, but it doesn't say Orcust on it. It's a World Legacy card, but it's basically just an Orcust card. It just banishes itself from grave to revive an Orcust, so that's the only thing we're using this for, really. And this guy he banishes himself from grave to special summon a Orcust from grave. So these two really good interruptions and extenders, and just ways to recycle your play and keep playing and keep playing, because all of the Orcust banish themselves for their effects other than Girsu, and so having World Wand just to recycle them back and get them back in the graveyard to use on your opponent's turn is fantastic, because you can do that because of the field spell, Orchestrated Babel. This is the most important card in the deck because it allows you to activate all of your Orcust monsters' effects in grave during your opponent's turn. And it also allows your Orcust Link monsters to be activated during your opponent's turn. So this is a absolutely amazing card that you constantly want to be up. So next is two cards pretty much that are also one card starters. Foolish Burial and Reinforcements of the Army. So this pretty much is here purely to get Armageddon Knight. It's just pretty much a fourth copy of Armageddon Knight, and he's a one card starter, so it's pretty good. And Foolish Burial can just dump Harpour from deck, or if you already have a way to dump Harpour, you can dump Bystial Rebellion or another guy who can help you to extend your combo. So it's really nice. It's a decent card all around. And the final piece of the Orcust engine is Orcust Crescendo. This card is amazing. It is a counter trap Omni Negate, so it basically stops one thing your opponent does, and unless your opponent has a counter trap, which is this little symbol up here, they can't respond to it. So it's an absolutely fantastic card, and it also banishes whatever it negates. So again, absolutely amazing card at disrupting what your opponent is trying to do. So next I'll move on to the Bystial engine. It's pretty much the same as what I've been playing in every other deck that I play the Bystial engine in. It's triple Rebellion. Sends himself from hand to grave to search Bystial, summons himself and places a branded spell trap. Great card, love the guy. The only problem in this deck is that because all the Orcusts, all the Orcusts except for our Girsu lock you into Darks, he is a bit more hard to get out. But honestly, just the fact that he searches Bystial is still fantastic. So next we have Triple Bystial Baldric. He is the cheapest one, and he is the one I have the most of, and I'm allowed to play the most of. This guy he's good. He actually can contribute a dark monster, lighter dark, to banish target monster specials from the extra deck and banish it, which, because we often have just spur dark monsters from the Orcust engine, this guy's effect does actually come up quite often. And then we obviously have Magnamut and Druid's Worm. Magnamut searches a dragon on end phase. Druid's Worm sends a card to grave whenever it's sent to grave. So both absolutely great cards. And obviously has all of the Bystial except for Rebellion effect, where it banishes a lighter dark from grave, and it's a quick effect if the opponent controls a monster. Well, I can use it during the opponent's turn if the opponent controls the monster. And the final card is the Branded Radiant, which is the card you place off of Lubellion. Honestly, the card that makes this entire engine worth it. It's so powerful. It allows you to recycle your light and darks and draw. So if you banish your Orcust for their effect, you can just put them back in the deck and just have a constant flow of resources, and it really hurts your opponent. That just constant flow, especially because you can special back something like a Bystial Magnema as well, which is just so powerful. Next, I'm going to move on to the non-engine. So I'm playing Triple Nibiru. Absolutely amazing. Tribute to everything on the board after 5 summons. Just a great card. Triple Imperm. Love this card. Fantastic spot removal. Spot negation, sorry. So stops one thing from its effects going through. Really nice, and can also be used on the follow-up turn, which is also really good. And it is also a bit of a board breaker, so I absolutely love Imperm. Absolutely fantastic card. And then, obviously, best card in the game, Ash Blossom. Stops your opponent from doing anything that does anything with the deck. So, if they add from deck, if they send from deck to grave, or they special from the deck, Ash stops it, which a lot of things want to do. Next we have Triple Effect Veiler. It's Imperm but a monster. Pretty good. The only difference between it and Imperm is that you can't use it under the effects of Dimension Shifter, because it has to be sent to grave, and Dimension Shifter means that everything gets banished, so nothing can be sent to grave. So it's a bit annoying, but it's still a good card. And finally we have, we have Call by the Grave and Dominus Impulse. So Call by is standard, most decks play it. It's great for going first. It's going second as well. It just stops your opponent from pretty much doing anything. Like it can just negate an Ash, negate negate a Veiler. Just an absolutely fantastic card. That just makes your plays so much better whenever you see it. And finally is Dominus Impulse. So this is a interesting card. It is a hand trap, so you can play it from hand if your opponent controls a card, which, like, unless you're not going to be able to use this pretty much unless they control a card. So really good card. However, it does have a big restriction in that if you use it from hand, you cannot activate the effects of light, earth, and wind monsters, and that's just anywhere. So you do have to be careful with it, but because it's also a trap, you can just set it if you draw it going first. And I typically like to hold it as my last hand trap, as a last resort, because then I can use all my light and earth or wind hand traps immediately, and then after that get locked out of light, earth, and wind effects through Dominus Impulse. So it's very easy to play around that lock, and because this entire deck has a dark lock anyway, the only engine piece you're playing that isn't a light, earth, or dark, isn't a dark specifically, is the Bystial Rebellion, which is completely fine. So now onto the extra deck. We are playing 2 Galatea. The Orcust Automaton. This card is fantastic. It sets your Orchestrated Babble and your Orcust Crescendo by recycling your banished Orcust cards. So absolutely amazing. And doesn't need cards in deck to set to recycle them. So you can just recycle anyway. And it's absolutely amazing. Next we have the IP and ASP Little Light line. This is a set of cards that feel like they are custom printed for Orcust. Most of the time, the end board is literally just IP Masquerena. with like orchestrated babble up, and that has like potentially 3 to 4 interactions that your opponent really can find difficult to play through, because this card allows you to quick link summon a monster on your opponent's turn using itself and like any of your other monsters. And this card, if it's summoned using any monster special from the extra deck, gets to target banish. As well, it can also banish itself, target 2 cards on the field, one of yours and one of your opponent's. Banish both until the end phase. So in this deck, if you banish anything that isn't a dark on your opponent's field, it just can't come back. Because as long as you have activated an Orcust monster this turn, because you're the one special summoning it, so your SP Little Knight will come back, but you physically, well, you aren't allowed to special summon back the opponent's card. So absolutely fantastic synergies. So next we have the Beat Cut from the Underworld. This card is basically just a Link 2 that's a fiend for the next card. The Abai Aku, the Lightless Shadow. This card is amazing. It is a discard outlet. So if you have any Orcus stuck in your hand that you'd much prefer to be engraved, which is where most of them are best, you can use this card to discard that card and then gain more and more advantage. As well, it can also revive any light or dark monster engraved and banish itself till the end phase. Or it can just destroy a card. So if you're finding it hard to battle through something, this guy can just get rid of it. As well, it can also just draw you like 4 cards typically, which is just crazy. Now you do have to put back 4, but its last effect is crazy. It just allows you to hand pick your hand when it's out. It's a fantastic card all around. Next, we also play Longirsu, the Orcust Orchestrator. This guy is pretty good. He is basically just allows you to non-targeting send anything that's linked. One thing that's linked, and it shuffles back 2 of your banished Orcust or World Legacy cards. So it's really nice to have because it just allows you to shuffle back your stuff a bit faster than Galatea. Next, we have the card that kills, Access Code Talker. This guy targets a link monster and gains attack equal to its link rating times 1,000. So if it targets Longirsu, because he has a link rating of 3, he gains 3,000 attack, which is huge. 5,300 is crazy. And his effects can't be responded to. So he also has a pop. So you banish a guy, and then you can pop a card, which is just fantastic. A really good card for killing. And overall fantastic. And then next we have Dingirsu, the Orcust of the Evening Star. Now, this guy has a very weird effect to where he can be Xyz summoned using a Orcust Link monster, which most of the time you can't do. You can't even use a Link monster for an Xyz summon most of the time. But Dingirsu says on him that you can. So that he's absolutely fantastic. And when he's summoned, he can either attach a banished Orcust or World Legacy to him. Banished machine to him. Or you can send a card your opponent controls to the grave, which is absolutely fantastic, especially against decks like Blue Eyes, where you send True Light and then True Light wipes their board. Absolutely fantastic. He also can detach a material to protect everything on your board from destruction, which is really, really nice. And next, we just have some filler for the extra deck. So I'm playing one Chorizo. It's kind of just a tuner that if I have like a spur normal summon, I can just normal summon like and get out a tuner potentially, which can make some level 10 synchros with the Bystials. Talking about level 10 synchros with the Bystials, we have my favorite, Bystial Dispatter, and Chaos Angel. So these 2 great cards, obviously. Just my 2 personal favorite level 10 synchros right now. Just really powerful cards that can really help you, especially Dispatter if you can get them out. which you can do quite easily because Girsu also makes himself a tuner if there's two or more cards in his column specifically, and that includes on your opponent's side of the field. So sometimes you can get him out depending on how you're playing, and he can revive cards from the darks from the banish, so he's really, really nice in that regard. And finally, we have Scareclaw Tryhard. This is just a dark link monster that you can go into in case like your Longirsu gets taken out, but I don't really see myself going into him. And finally, Time Thief Reader, again, just kind of a dark monster that needs 2 level 4s, so I thought I'd just play him just in case he ever comes up. Oh, and also, he can detach materials, so say you have an Orcust Heartpour and like some other level 4 guy, you can make Time Thief Reader detach your Orcust Heartpour, banish himself until like the end phase, and then do your Orcust Heartpour stuff, which can maybe come up sometimes. But anyway, that is the deck list that I am hoping to bring. Thank you all so much for watching, and make sure to stay tuned for Wednesday when I show the 1 card combos for this deck. Thank you for watching.